Hello again, welcome back. This chapter we will move to the 11 called the SHACL. SHACL stands for Shapes Constraint Language. You can go to the W3C to get more detailed specification, but from the tutorials sequence, you can just let's review it. So we build our ontology, and in chapter 9, we have examined how to query your ontology. Chapter 10, we have used two types of the rule. So you can make some rule, then use that to control your ontology. On this chapter 11 is another tactic. SHACL can be used as our validation tool for your RDF or file or the knowledge graph. So that can tell you whether there's any the triples have some missing or some incorrect the constraints. So you can read through the Michael's tutorial. First two sub-chapter tell you the reason we use SHACL and why it's essential. And the third part is kind of our basic concepts. I have listed some key concepts for you to reference in this mind map, which you can also check that through this repository. So if you go to the repository, this is the mind map file. And then back to here, we will try to see using those basic concepts, like what are the scope, what type of the scope you can use, and what are the filter, what are the constraints, and to use that to play our ontology in Protege. So the sub-chapter 4 will be these some tasks we can play together. So keep open your this ontology with the data, and then we go to the Windows tab to see if you have this SHACL editor. Remember, we discussed about the SPARQL query bug, so I just deselect that so that you don't see the arrow. But here there's some arrow or just a warning, not arrow. But again, when you come to here, you don't see the SHACL editor, so that means we can check from plugin, file, check for plugin. Let's see whether we can find this the SHACL for Protege constraint validator in the plugin. You can do the same thing if you don't have that editor in tab. If you already have, you click that, then that should come to this plugin in the tab. So I have opened the checking plugin. Yeah, it's coming. So let's see, SHACL. Yeah, the second from the bottom. Let's install. So you can read from here. It's constraint validation. Now it's 110. Test using the 5.50. So my version is 5.6.2. So that's no problem. But they didn't test on Windows. So I hope that's no problem. Okay, then let's install. After install, normally you need to take effect to open the project again. So let's close, save, then open. Okay, now the project is reopened. Let's open the file. Pizza tutorial with data version 2. And go to Windows tab. Now you can see minimum SHACL editor. It's called this one. is here. So here is the editor. Because editing SHACL, you can this version. So we just do download pizza shape.txt to your local. The file can be found here. So pizza shape, I already downloaded this. You can examine that. Is this kind of file we can use to validate. So you with those rules, shapes, and constraints. So employee shape, customer shape, two types. Within employee shape, we have a node shape property for social security number with just minimum 1, maximum 1, and also they have the regular expression pattern, and we will also check they must have at least one phone, and the phone number, the formats or pattern. So SSN is a 3-2 digit - 4 digit. Little difference for phone is 3 digit - 3 digit - 4 digits. And then closure. Customer, we can read this for property. We should have at least one phone, and the same constraint for the phone number pattern, and also has discount. Discount is should be more. Minimum is 0, so no discount. Maximum is 100%, 1.0. So if there's more than 1.0, that should be an issue. So you can download that from this link, or you can come to my repository in the root. I already have this file for you. Let's continue. Once you have downloaded, open this editor. You will see an example file in the editor. These are the example file. From the editor, create the open and navigate to this txt. So here, so this example, let me also just save that, and then open. So from GitHub local. So I have these pizza shapes. So I open this. Now you can see the content here. Then moving on, there are two shapes in the file. One is employee, one is customer. You already see that. For the SHACL, we will start the employee class. And then to begin examining, so in the employee shape, here. So we have our pizza ontology for the prefix. Others are the predefined. And for the employee shape, SHACL has some rules to describe the things, like what we have examined. This 1-1, this regular expression. Second node is the phone. So similar. So like this way. Now let's hit the validate. Since the reasoner is not activated, the validation will now be conducted without the infer. To include the infer, go to reasoner menu and select start. So first is run with this without reasoner. Let's see without infer, what was the result for that? So if I come to here, if I select person, employee, chef, so I don't have those things. As mentioned in the tutorial, we will need to change some UI. So we want the bottom view in middle of take-up, so we go to this view and let's add the ontology. I think it's a SHACL. Sorry. Let's see, double check on here. Cool. Snap, SPARQL, not SHACL. Ontology. SHACL is here. So we have SHACL constraint violence. So what we want to add into this individual bypass is maybe we add that here. Yeah, that is what we want. Maybe we move that. Let's close. Put that in the bottom. It's on the missed part. Put in here. Okay, so when I validate, then let's see, I put another view editor, put on here. So we have this one. Let's do the validate. It's no reasoner. It should have some constraints. No constraints violent. So let's see from here. So that's also like that. Let's start in the reasoner. So now reasoner is activated. Let's back to this validate. You can see here where I got one violation. Let's see. What's the message? Value does not match. So that is the regular expression issue. It's on the manager. But if I choose chef, so what's the message? Property may only have one value. Let's come to here. But font 2, exactly same here. Then the path and the focus. As Michael mentioned, you can make these two very small. But I think we just has the demo issue, the purpose, so we don't need to do too much change. But the result you can see here. If you change search chef, click chef, because chef has two social security number, so we over validation. So let's read our validation for person. So that for social security number is only one. So maximum is 1, minimum is also 1. So that's the social security number for employee. And that is not follow the rule. For manager, let's see. Manager is a value does not match pattern. First phone is okay. Since we don't have a maximum restriction, so it's okay for person to have two phones. But second phone missing a dash between this 555 and the next 4 digit. So that's the violate. Waiter for 1 has one social security number. Okay, because but this social security number has our wrong format. Value does not match the pattern. Waiver 2 has no social security number, no has phone. So that's the violent. And similar to the customer. Let's see the let's run this again for customer. Customer 1 has phone is correct, because for customer apply to this is only has a phone and the phone number constraints. But a customer need to ensure is we don't have the bigger discount. So you can see here, customer has the discount constraint. If by common sense, it should not be more than 100%. So customer 1, okay. Customer 10 has discount 2.0. So let's see. So from the SHACL, if I run the validate, you can see here, value is not less than or equal to 1. So that's is talking about this customer 10. Customer 2, value does not match the pattern. So there is a phone. 3, property need to have at least one value. So missing has phone. 4, okay. 5, okay. 6, okay. 7, okay. 8, okay. 9, okay. So if you change back is customer 10, 2, 3 are having issue. So like here, customer 10 and also customer 2, customer 3. So that is the way you can try to use. You can also follow the Michael's tutorial. Actually, he's close all these 3 sub-tab and make this bigger, so you can easily see that. But for me, is I want to keep the original, the individual by class, and after we use is I will just delete this 2 tab, and then this I only use this one to validate. What you can do is you select one. The individual and do the validation. So that will come to this individual's thing, the item. You can also add the individual and list here. What's the? This is the individual. This is the class hierarchy. So let's add that here. This will be. So let's see class hierarchy. I put here. I make this smaller. And make the individual, put in here, make that smaller. So now what you can see is if I select, so not this one, was this inferred? So let me try to find this tab. Individual by type, inferred is this one. So if I switch to customer, actually this already the hierarchy. I think we don't need this. Oh yeah, well we can keep that because it's just like the left part. It's the 2 parts, so we can use either way. So that is more easier. You can switch from here to find out the issues. And where is our chef? This is the customer. I want to see the employee here. So we have manager has a pattern issue, missing value, and these have 2 duplicated social security number. So that is the thing or some basic usage of this SHACL validator. So you can edit that. I haven't tried this graph, but you can try this. I will not make a video for talking about this in a specific way. So, so those are for the SHACL, and here Michael gave some reference, but please be noticed this top quadrant. If you click the first link, it's coming to tell you is they already changed their website. But good thing is if you change 3W to archive, you can get this old file still. But just the starting is archive and the resources. So those are the things is here. So you can see archive replace the 3W. So you can read this tutorial. And the second one is our PowerPoint. If you can read from those slide share. I have put this tutorial. If you come to my repository, here is the reference. Under SHACL, you can find this PDF export of the tutorial. If you got time, it's welcome to read through this, just to give you some more idea about the SHACL. And then back to here, because you need to install this visualization, the Edgrow graph database. It's not running on Windows. You can run that on Mac or Linux. And then this you can try this graph, but I put that outside of my video. Next video, I will move to talking about this web Protege. Then see you there. Until now, I think the basic, the content for this Pizza.owl tutorial has been completed. We just have some colorful addition things to introduce to you. If you are watching until now, I thank you very much for this, and also congratulations you get those tutorial carefully going through one by one. I hope you can also enjoy those practice. We will do more the video later on, and then finish this one, then come to the other ontology topic. Thank you for watching.